I have a message for you about a person in your life, and it is very urgent. Please take a slow, deep breath before you keep reading, because this information is quite serious. This message did not come to you easily. It traveled through a lot of silence, across a long distance, and through a lot of hidden sadness. It is reaching you right now because time is starting to matter a lot. Hello everyone, and welcome to Psych Lens. Please do not forget to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, and choose the option for all notifications. Every single video we make has the power to change the way you think, and sometimes that happens in ways you do not expect. This person has been keeping something locked inside for a very long time. They have held on to it much longer than they want to tell anyone, and much longer than you probably think. They did not just wake up one day and decide to forget you. They did not suddenly stop caring about you at all. They did not actually move on in the way they pretended to. What they really did was bury their feelings because they did not know how to deal with them. But feelings that are buried deep down do not just go away. They stay there and wait. They build up a lot of pressure, and eventually, those feelings break through to the surface. This message is coming from a place of fear and panic, not from a place of being brave. This person is not feeling calm at all right now. They are not at peace with themselves. They feel very upset in their mind, in their heart, and in their spirit. Something has changed very recently. Maybe they saw something that made them think of you. Maybe they heard your name being mentioned by someone else. Maybe their life slowed down just enough for the noise to stop and for the truth to finally get loud. Whatever it was, it woke them up suddenly. They are now realizing something that makes them feel very scared. They are realizing that they might lose you forever. This thought did not arrive gently. It hit them late at night when they could no longer find a way to stay busy. It hit them when looking at their phone felt empty, and when laughing with other people felt like they were forcing it. It hit them when the silence arrived and started asking questions that they could no longer run away from. They noticed something that really hurt them. They noticed that no one else feels the way you do. No one else listens the way you listened. No one else understood them without making them explain everything. No one else made them feel safe without making them feel trapped. That is when the feeling of hurry started. This hurry does not come from love by itself. It comes from the fear of losing something that can never be fixed. If this person could talk to you without being afraid, without being proud, and without their ego getting in the way, this is what they would tell you. They would say that they should have done something much sooner. They would say they thought they had more time than they did. They would say they did not think you would actually pull away like this. They did not realize that their silence could hurt you so deeply. They are finally starting to understand a very painful thing. Doing nothing is still a choice that someone makes, and that choice cost them the closeness they had with you. They feel bad for not being there when it really mattered. They feel bad for not choosing to use words when you needed to be told things were okay. They feel bad for not being brave when being honest was the most important thing. At the time, staying quiet felt like the safer path. Keeping a distance felt like they were in control. Avoiding the problem felt like they were being strong. But avoiding things always leads to bad results. This person has a hard time showing their emotions. It is not because they do not feel things, but because they feel way too much and do not know how to handle it safely. Opening up to you meant they might be rejected. Being open meant they might lose control of the situation. Admitting how deep their feelings went meant they had to face parts of themselves they were not ready to look at. A famous thinker once said that until you make your hidden thoughts known to yourself, they will run your life, and you will think it is just luck. This person lived that truth without even knowing it. Instead of facing their heart, they let their fear make their decisions. They let their pride speak for them. They let silence do all the talking. And now those hidden choices have turned into problems they can no longer ignore. They can feel you changing. This is a very important part. This person senses that you are not the same as you used to be. Your energy has shifted away. Your reactions to them are different now. Your silence feels much heavier than your words ever did. You might still care about them, but you are no longer chasing them to get answers like you used to do. You are no longer trying to explain yourself over and over. You are no longer waiting in a sad place where nothing is clear. This makes them very afraid because the truth is that they relied on your patience much more than they should have. They relied on your kindness. They relied on your willingness to stay soft and open while they stayed closed and guarded. They just assumed you would always be there, always being understanding and always waiting for them. They did not think you would ever reach the point where you quietly chose to take care of yourself, but you have reached that point. And now they can feel it. What they are afraid to lose is not just you as a person. They are afraid to lose the way you made them feel seen without judging them. They are afraid to lose the safety they felt but never wanted to admit. They are afraid to lose the emotional home that they did not know how to take care of. They are realizing something that many people learn far too late. They are learning that not every connection can be made again once it is gone. Not every bond can be replaced by someone else. They are asking themselves a question that gets louder in their head every single day. They are asking if they messed up the one connection that actually mattered. That question bothers them during quiet moments. It stays there when they try to move on with their life. It comes up when they compare other people to you and feel the difference right away. That is where this hurry truly comes from. It is not about trying to control you. It is about the realization that time is no longer on their side. They feel that if they wait any longer, you will not be reachable anymore. You will not be reachable in your heart. They feel a door closing. It is not a loud bang or a big goodbye. It is a very soft and quiet closing, which is the most dangerous kind of all. Because once that door is closed all the way, it does not open back up easily. They want to reach out to you. They want to explain things. They want to say they are sorry in the right way without being defensive and without making excuses. But fear is still fighting against them. Fear tells them that maybe it is already too late. Fear asks, what if you do not even care anymore? Fear says that if they show their true self, they might get rejected. So they wait and hesitate. They type out messages and then they delete them. They practice talks in their head that never actually happen. And all the while, the feeling of hurry just keeps growing. This message is not a promise that everything will be okay. It is a confession. They are not saying that everything is fixed now. They are not acting like they suddenly have all the answers. What they are admitting, even if they are doing it silently, is this: they were wrong to take you for granted. They did not realize how much you mattered until they felt the loss of you. They are scared that they have hurt you so much that it cannot be fixed. Realizing the truth often happens late, and when it happens late, it is very painful because it arrives when you are already losing control. What this means for you is much more important than what it means for them. Please listen to this carefully. This message is not telling you what you should do. It is not asking you to wait for them. It is not demanding that you forgive them. It is simply showing you the truth of the situation. You mattered much more than they ever showed you. Your absence is now louder than your presence ever was. And the connection you two shared was a real thing, even if it was handled very poorly. What you choose to do next is where your power lies, and real power does not rush just because someone else is in a hurry. Here is the part that most people miss. Being in a hurry does not mean that a person is actually ready. Your person feels a hurry now because they are finally sitting with the results of who they were when things mattered, and results have a way of taking away all the lies. They do not ask you nicely to face them. They do not wait until you are comfortable. They show up when you can no longer run away. Your person is in that space right now. They are replaying moments that they used to think were not important. They are thinking of talks they thought were small. They are thinking of silences they thought you would survive without changing. They are seeing those moments differently now. They are seeing them through the feeling of loss instead of through their own pride. Because when someone begins to lose the ability to reach you emotionally, their memory gets very sharp. What used to feel like an ordinary day suddenly feels like something that can never be replaced. They remember how you checked on them without being asked. They remember the way you noticed when their mood changed before they even said a word. They remember how you stayed calm when they pulled away from you. They remember how you tried to understand them instead of blaming them. And now that understanding feels very heavy because they realize something painful. You were meeting them at a deep level that they were not ready to handle. A wise man once said that the greatest weight a child has to carry is the life their parents did not live. And while this is not about parents, the idea is the same. Your person has been living a life where they avoided their emotions, avoided growing up, and avoided the responsibility that comes with a real connection. And now that they have avoided it for so long, they feel exposed. They feel seen by you even when you are silent. That is because your silence has changed. Before, silence felt like there was just some space between you. Now, it feels like there is a long distance. Before, silence felt like it was only for a short time. Now, it feels like it might be forever. They sense that you are no longer waiting for them to finally catch up to you. You are no longer building your emotional world around their confusion. And this is where their fear takes a much deeper form. It is not just the fear of you saying no. It is the fear of not mattering to you anymore. They are afraid that you have reached a point where you have closed the chapter in your mind without telling them. They are afraid that you did not need a big ending. You did not need a fight. You did not even need answers anymore. You simply changed and adjusted. That change is very scary to someone who relied on you always being available. They are realizing something else too. You were not asking them to be perfect. You were just asking them to be present. You were not asking for things to be intense. You were just asking for them to be consistent. You were not asking them to change who they were deep down. You were just asking them to be the person they said they were. And now they see how many times they chose to stay comfortable instead of being brave. They made up reasons for why they stayed silent. They made up reasons for why they kept their distance. They told themselves they were not ready yet. But being ready is not something that just happens. Being ready is a choice, and they did not choose it when you were offering your heart for free. That realization hurts them because now that offer is no longer on the table in the same way. Your person can feel that change. They feel it in the way you talk, in the way you respond or do not respond, and in the way you no longer try to explain yourself. You are no longer trying to prove how valuable you are, and that does something to them. It makes the whole situation they were used to fall apart. They thought they had forever because you stayed so gentle. They thought you would wait because you cared so much. They thought your patience meant you would stay forever. They did not understand that patience has a limit, and self-respect always shows up eventually. Here is what they are fighting with inside their own head. They want to reach out to you, but they do not want to start something that they cannot keep going. They want to say they are sorry, but they do not want to promise things they are not sure they can do. They want to be close to you, but they are afraid of the work that comes with it. So they are stuck between what they want and what they fear. They are stuck between wanting you and staying away. This is why their energy feels so messy. They are not at peace because their heart and their actions are not in the same place. They feel something real, but they do not trust themselves to act on it every day, and that creates a lot of tension. They imagine scenes where they say the right thing and act differently and are much braver, but imagining things is much safer than real life. Real life needs you to actually do the work, and that is where fear gets even stronger. They are afraid that even if you did listen to them, they might just let you down all over again. What they do not see yet is that you are no longer waiting for their words. You are watching what they actually do. You are no longer moved by them saying sorry if nothing changes. You are standing strong in yourself now. This does not mean you do not care about them. It means you have grown up emotionally. A famous person once said that you do not find light by imagining it, but by looking at the darkness inside. You have done that work quietly. You have sat with your disappointment. You have dealt with your sadness. You have let things become clear. Your person is only just starting that path now. And timing is very important, because growing after you lose something feels very different than growing while you still have it. They are realizing this now. They know that even if they talk to you now, things cannot go back to the way they used to be. And that scares them, because what they miss the most is the version of you that trusted them completely. And trust is a thing that does not just reset with a few words once it has been changed. This message is here because they are standing at a doorway. Behind them is the comfort of staying away. In front of them is the risk of telling the truth. They know that if they do nothing, they might lose you for good. But they also know that talking to you means they have to look at themselves honestly, and that is something they have avoided for a very long time. What you are feeling is not just confusion. It is a big change. Your person is facing the truth, and you are no longer in the middle of that fight with them. You have stepped a little bit ahead, and that changes everything about the situation. There is a quiet truth happening under all of this, and it is something your person is only just starting to understand. Loss does not always make a loud noise when it happens. Sometimes it is just a whisper. Sometimes it shows up as an emotional distance. Sometimes it is a small shift in energy that you cannot argue with or explain. Your person can feel that whisper right now. They feel it when they think about calling you and realize they do not know what you will say. They feel it when they imagine you moving on with your life without them. Not because you are mad, but because you are clear. They feel it when they see that the version of you who used to wait and hope is no longer there. That thought really bothers them, because they cannot control it. They cannot make it go away with charm. They cannot run away from it by staying busy. They are finally facing the truth they ignored. For a long time, this person fought against how much they really felt for you. They fought against the responsibility of being there for you. They fought against being open and vulnerable. And now all of that fighting has turned into this feeling of hurry and pressure. They are not just afraid of losing you. They are afraid of what losing you says about who they are. Because deep down, they know this was not just bad timing. It was not just bad luck. It was fear. It was the fear of being seen for who they really are. It was the fear of failing at a relationship. It was the fear of not knowing how to hold on to something special without breaking it. And now that fear has caused real loss. They keep thinking about times they could have said something but did not. Times when they almost told the truth but then got scared. Times when they saw you were confused and they chose to stay silent instead of helping you feel better. Back then, those moments felt small. Now they feel very heavy. They are starting to see that you did not just leave all of a sudden. You slowly got used to the way they were treating you. You saw the reality. You stopped doing all the work for them. You stopped assuming they meant well when their actions did not show it. You stopped hurting yourself just to keep the connection alive. That change did not happen in one night. It happened slowly and on purpose. And because you did not make a big scene, your person did not notice it at first, but they definitely notice it now. They notice you do not lean on them anymore. They notice you do not care as much about what they think. What scares them is how calm you are. Being calm means you have accepted the situation. It means you have made up your mind. It means you are no longer fighting for things to be different. This person is used to things being intense and messy. They do not know what to do with someone who is just clear and steady. They are starting to see that even if they reach out, things have changed. You are not waiting to be picked by them anymore. You are standing in your own self-respect. This is where their fear gets more difficult. They are afraid that reaching out will show that they are still not ready. They are afraid that if you listen to them, they will not be able to be the person you need. They are afraid that you see them more clearly than they see themselves. And that truth is hard to face because truth does not care about excuses. They want to tell you they cared. They want to explain why they were silent. They want to say they did not know how to handle